Alrighty, I had to stop because I had a wedgie. That got pretty intense, pretty severe wedgie. So now it's annoying because I was almost finished. So now I have to do one where I'm just going to finish. I want to summarize. What do I want to summarize? The things that I would like to summarize. Yeah, we need to have an appropriate conversation about the last 60 years of things that we've experimented on Australian citizens. Starting at the most expensive. And we need to really understand whether those things have fucked us up or whether they've helped us. And that's really complicated. We need to accept the fact that because of the amount of experiments we've done, we're going to have a ridiculously high potential of anomalies, so things that we haven't experienced before. And we're going to have to get extremely comfortable with that. And basically, I think we need to get to a stage where it's like, because this is the funniest thing. I'm politically conservative. And this, when all these parties continuously just keep, battling each other and elevating these policy these decisions, it skews the whole perception. It's like, I don't care what you do. I don't care what you do as long as it doesn't involve you stealing my property or my children in order to pay for it. The fact that you have already attempted to do both and you have prevented me from innovating solutions within my business basically puts me at war with you. That should have been acknowledged from the get-go. Basically, like, we need a button that says, the government's at war with me. If they don't stop, people are going to die. That's what politics is meant to be. It's meant to be that conversation. It's not meant to be picked and chosen. Like, I represent Australia circa 1933 and back. That's what I represent. That should be incredibly relevant right now. That's not that long ago. The delusion that you can adapt and change. It's like this in the internet world, and it's all to do with the internet world. These people need to be disciplined publicly, and they need to be exposed for what they've done. And then, there needs to be explanation as well, because everybody bet on it and basically forced them to do it, which is really crazy. So it's like the only thing that would have saved us was a bunch of people that had, like, computer nerds that had just been made incredibly rich and powerful to independently educate themselves to the true, like, intricacies of philosophy and society and our democratic history and all these things, in order to not be lured into just being basically racehorses that racehorse hackers that were bet on by the fucking masses of the world to our own destruction, out of, like, off radar, so it can't even be picked up unless people like me do this. That's not a defense strategy. It doesn't matter how many fucking warships we've got, how many fucking rockets or missiles. It's like, that's a way bigger threat. So the only thing that protects us with that is very large representation by historically stable and relevant communities. This happens in England. It's like, go and try and, tear down a statue or a building in England and see where it gets you. This is an extension of England. I don't fucking care if you don't like it. It is. And we've just started. And everywhere I look around. So here's an example, right, of what I'm talking about in a way that isn't too abstract. Go and watch The Sound of Music. Right? They're in Austria. Go and watch as Maria is fucking skipping down the road to get to the fucking Von Trapp family. And look how big those fucking trees are that line the roadside, that were clearly planted on the dedicated roadside of that country, whatever lane that the Von Trapp fucking household was on, right? They're fucking huge. They're huge. And they were intentionally planted there. Right? So that's a warring Europe has stalled out an entire country for 80 years. So we don't have that. The only examples of that type of planning, of planting very large shade trees on roadways, majoritively, like 99% of, or 80% of maximum, whatever, of that example, which is an example of long-term, like confidence. If you're going to do that, you've got to have confidence in the future. The only examples of that, or the majority of the examples of that, are pre-1933. So we all have post-war syndrome. And I guess it just took longer to get that out. It's like we thought post-war syndrome was the person, fucking shell-shock person, you know what I mean, running from car backfires. It turns out, no, it's bled into the fucking dye, into the wash of every single Australian family and every single world family, really, in a diverse, different amount of ways. There's been 1,000 different solutions to address this, whether it's a pharmaceutical, chemical, counseling, materialism, rebellion, drugs, alcohol, gambling, whatever the fuck it is. But at the end of the day, if we don't have fucking really large shade trees being planted on our roadways in a clear example of a continuation of our unimpeded culture, because it's not like Austria hadn't seen war. And if this is present everywhere, if you can go to Austria and see the same thing, if you can go to the UK and see the same thing, if you can go to Germany and the United States, see the same thing over and over and over again, then we're clearly in this situation. Now the United States, they have a weird grid that was projected there, but which I don't know, I don't really agree with. But it was an attempt to egalitarian property ownership, but it's I think it's the ultimate, and it comes from a Freemason kind of conceptual logic, but it's very flawed. Because the grid should take place on paper. It's like you can always handicap the properties with prices and things like that. So it's the same thing happening. You don't need to fucking hyper project a stupid grid onto the fucking landscape. But there should be, in those regions that were gridded, there should be a beautiful tree line grid, but there isn't. Because it's like, there's this, we're like doing all these things. It's almost like there's this diverse, beautiful, intense, chaotic, extremely complicated system of what all these things, and then it's like World War II, and then it's just like that. Because you've got to understand this is an extension of the comms, of the communications on the fly, like real time strategy communications taking place in trenches and in war rooms in World War II. So is the stock market, to be honest with you. So this is the inevitable extension to which every individual is participating in that. The problem is that most people won't, unless they pick up on the threat. And so that they're inevitably coercing together, following the projected social norms, and are currently at war with anyone who just wants a piece of property that they can plant some fucking trees at, build a house, and then put a sign up that says "fuck off." Why would anyone else come to Australia? Apart from that, think about what we're going to think about is, imagine the Instagram posts of, and I'd love to get AI to do this, like AI make a beautiful video of Instagram posts from people migrating to Australia in the 1800s, and they're writing a letter to their family. And it's like, fuck Fuck all you people. Fuck your king. Fuck your European delusion. Fuck your bourgeois fucking thing. I've purchased 7,000 hectares and I'm going to be a gentleman farmer in Australia. Now, that didn't work out right. Because these people, it's like that. It just didn't work. Their eyes were too big for their fucking aspirations. I think that's the definition of Australia. So if you want to blame anyone for Anthony Albanese, you've got to blame all of us together. Anthony Albanese is a true representation of a Labor Party Australian. You know what I mean? It's just that he's aspired to be a Nazi. Or he's aspired to be Stalin. And he bit off way more than he can chew. He's a first or second generation Australian. That's what we all did. You know what I mean? I don't think there would be a family that still is holding their original holdings in Australia, which is very strange if we project that to England. You know, they've obviously shrunk down and gotten smaller and smaller and smaller, but there's a stage where it's like you buy a bit, you develop it, you do these things. Now, I'm probably the strangest representative of my family because on my paternal side, they had small properties in the middle of the city, did this, they stayed with that. My father went big. And then on his retirement, we've gone to a small kind of town block, which is still large compared to the average in the suburban areas. And that's what I'm defending. That is so ridiculous to have to go to this level to defend something like that. And it's that I can just keep doing this every day based on that one equation. The more you look at it, the worse it gets. It just keeps getting worse. It's like, holy shit. And this is why it can't be distributed. It cannot be published because it will destroy the entire fucking economy of the country. Because basically it's like if someone that's been here that long can't fucking protect the bare minimum of something in this environment without attacking multinational corporations, industrial chemical chains, industrial, manufacturing, all these fucking things, then it exposes it. And that gives you even more reason to fucking buy a piece of land and say, fuck off. I don't want to hear about it. I don't care if you dress in women's clothing. I don't care if you have a gun and you fucking, if you practice your Heil Hitlering in front of the mirror. I don't fucking care if you breed fucking, elaborate fucking parakeets or something like that. I don't fucking give a shit. But if you try and steal my fucking property or my fucking children, I'm going to kill you. When you all do it together, right? I'm going to kill you. This is what happens. It's like, don't mistake the fact that we can attempt to kill you all. If you attempt a communist invasion of my country, you know what I mean? Start getting ready for the fucking water supply to be polluted and poisoned purposefully. You start preparing for like deep-seated retaliatory fucking things, not fucking terrorism. You know what I mean? If you're really got your eyes set on a communist invasion of my country, I'm not going to use terrorism against you. I'm going to use monotony against you. I'm going to send you to sleep and then kill every last one of you. And this is how people think. And these people that think like me have resources to do it. So what the fuck do you think you're doing? If you want to run a social experiment, run it on your own fucking dime. You know what I mean? This is the way you do it. If you want to be a fucking transvestite and you don't have a job, go and buy a fucking sewing machine and fucking make your own clothes. Don't extract from my government to pay for your fucking bullshit. Don't corrupt the fucking education system to pay for your bullshit. You know what I mean? I would rather one fucking school that is purposefully it's all just transvestite. Okay, wicked. Stop trying to homogenize across the board. There is no fucking solution that suits everybody. And we shouldn't even be having these fucking things. The land base like Australia, to hold it, even like, let's take abortion. So we're attempting to hold a discussion or an argument about abortion in a country that we've only just fucking found and colonized, that is so large and uninhabited, where there was an extremely high level of infanticide by the fucking native population. These aren't things that can be discussed across fucking things like this. And now we're doing it like globally. We're trying to interact with them, like we're trying to. What are the Americans doing with abortion? What are the UK? This doesn't work. Doesn't work. Unfortunately, the only way it works is there's going to have to be a place in Australia that's really, really fucking friendly with abortion. That's the only way it works. These are types of solutions that work. Because no matter what you do, even if you're anti-abortion and you keep having to say anti-abortion, then you're addressing the fact of abortion. Abortion is supposed to be something that's whispered in your ear in a time of specific need by a hierarchy of women that are basically your family members or part of your tribe. That's how this worked for millions of years, because you can't encourage it. You can't be seen to encourage, that skews the thing. And this applies to almost every single argument that we're going to have. Anti-Semitism is everywhere in a way that is completely harmless, and it's nowhere in a place that it should be. Because the real thing that needs to be discussed right now is, if we have this anti-Semitism issue in our country, why isn't it being discussed politically? You know, you can't really get to a stage where you've done what Anthony Albanese's done in the last couple of years, and then not describe yourself openly and publicly as an anti-Semite. That is a corruption of our language, of our culture, of our traditions, of our democracy. Because clearly you are. Clearly Anthony Albanese is an anti-Semite. And think about this to do with other laws. So already on his get-go, as soon as there's a terrorist attack and there's pressure on him politically, there's a crackdown on anti-Semitism, including here in Australia. And I've already told you this morning in my last video that this is, in my opinion, an attempt to bridge between two very uniquely different subsects of our society, or demographics of our society, and to try and connect them together, to try and link up anti-Semitism in our country, instead of, creating a wall there. So Anthony Albanese is an anti-Semite, but he is telling Australia that he's not. How is this any different to when you get pulled over by a police officer? You were speeding. No, I wasn't. Why are our political figures being held, by their own decree of their own innocence, whilst standing over a structure and a system that is extracting billions of dollars from people? For the opposite, it's like this. There's got to be a checklist that is applied. It's like, is this the first occasion in global politics where we, in real time, we're just seeing the absolute depths of lying? And is this a moment to celebrate? Think. It's very terrible that he's lying. I don't think he should be lying. But can Australia fucking tell the truth in this moment and say, well, would we become Nazi Germany if he wasn't lying? If Anthony Albanese came out tomorrow and said, I hate all fucking Jews and I want to fucking rid the country of them, we have to basically watch what he's done. That is his intention. What is Australia going to do in that moment? So why are we going to this level of bullshit when down in the muddy trenches, the same argument between, like, say, parents? he said he wants to kill me. No, I didn't. He threatened to kill me. No, I didn't. So is this entire structure a judicial and legal and policing structure of our government that's just lying and then, like, literally extracting profit and maintenance costs, like recovering maintenance costs, by then lower down hyper focusing on these kind of tit for tat lie pseudo legal arguments? And I'll bridge now into where I was hoping to go this morning, but I forgot because I have a lot of things and I cover them all at once. But it's like, at the time I was accused of threatening violence to my children's mother, I had recently been working as a bartender in what was our hometown. We both lived there, and she worked at one stage for the IGA. This is a tiny little town, and two retail establishments. She worked as a front-facing shop attendant in the town, and I worked, after she left, I worked as a bartender in the same town. How did this town dynamic between what alcohol does to people's perception, which is what it was, I was witnessing that, have never stopped saying that. I said, these two individuals are drunk, and for some reason, the sober RSA certified person coming to pick up their children has been sent on a wild goose chase by two alcoholics, inebriated beyond thing, literally sculling down vodka while they wait for 3 hours for the police to arrive. And I am still being forced to participate in a war against the entire fucking government, state, local, and fucking federal, in order to address this. Yet Anthony Albanese can put a keeper on and pretend that he's not an anti-Semite. And let's just keep fucking doing this. Let's just keep finding this. How many cases are there between parents in this country that are tit for tat, that are this level of, like, he says, she says, whatever? And again, I'll claim it's like their actions were clearly coerced and led by the projected, and I would say enforced, example by our politicians. Most notably at the time of this was Mark McGowan and his complete ostracism of the unvaccinated or anti-vaxxers, the only two categories of people that use the word anti-vaxxers, anti-Semitism. Guilty by association. You're building a linguistic fucking funnel here for the Australian people. And it's affecting, like, these downstream, intensely important relationships and how those relationships project into the society. And unfortunately for you, Mr. Prime Minister, and Australian government, and state government, and local government, this whole comparison took place in a small country town, recently, within living memory of both of those occupants working in front-facing retail organisations within a small town, one being a pub and one being a little corner shop, a little supermarket. Not a supermarket, a little corner shop. little convenience store, like with, milk and bread and things like that. There's no doubt if this took place, if this legal whatever took place, I said, they're both drunk. What were you doing, Shane? I went to get my kids. What happened? Oh, well, they then started pursuing this legal warfare against me using these violence restraining orders. They've made up lies about my mental health. They've exaggerated beyond compare. Like, the moment you're drunk, isn't that the end of your like kind of your ability to be able to because otherwise it's like those drink driving charges I've got. Oh, I wasn't drunk. I wasn't drunk. The copper fucking took his shirt off and said he was going to kill me and beat his chest like a gorilla. No, Shannon, you were drunk. But how do you know? Because we breathalyzed you because we're the police. So why weren't those two individuals breathalyzed? Why weren't those two individuals breathalyzed? Because this fell down to a hyper-biased, run-of-the-mill, people-pleasing, absolutely useless, mass-produced solution to a problem that doesn't disturb any white ants' nests. It doesn't disturb any beehives or hornets' nests. So why wasn't this classed as drunk and disorderly? And more importantly, what amount of drunk and disorderly cases taking place in licensed establishments across the entire country are then referred to police? What percentage? I would say probably 10, maximum 20% of antisocial, drunk and disorderly cases are actually referred to police. At the most, 20%. So this means that our licensed establishments across the country are covering a huge swathe of drunk and disorderly antisocial behaviour as voluntary RSA holding distributors of alcohol. Now, why is social media being treated as differently when we know, as Australia, there is a huge substance abuse problem with our population? That means on social media there is a huge substance abuse problem. More than likely, this is the reason that our Prime Minister thinks that he can ban social media because and refer to it as the same as a pub. But this is a projection of our entire country. It's legal to drink in your own house, isn't it? It's legal to drink in a licensed premises. It's not legal to be drunk and disorderly on the streets. So what is social media? It's the streets, isn't it? You're out in the wild, drunk and disorderly. Now there needs to be. I'm not like starting this line of questioning or this line of argument to end in a place where my children's mother, who is very, very unwell at the moment due to this hideous fucking scourge of alcoholism, to press charges on her. This is a newly created environment. She's under the direct effects of coercive control, in my opinion, by her partner. Lots of things going on. She's been elevated to a subconscious warfare onto someone that is basically her only living support system if you take the whole of her life into account. I'm not exaggerating when I say that we're like brothers and sisters. I'm not actually exaggerating when I feel like her father, because I've replaced her father in her life directly and provably. And that's what I've been doing. And this example that I've seen here doesn't make me feel very confident about my ability to intervene if something happens towards my daughter. So if something like this happens towards my daughter, I can assure you that I'm going into jail on murder charges. And if I'm going to go on murder charges, I'm going to make it worth my fucking while. And this is a serious problem. You know, what does the country think if a bartender kills someone who's drunk and disorderly? You know, how many counts of black eyes or broken arms and things like that happen on a daily basis when people are escorted out of premises by bouncers and things like that? These are on licensed premises. So the Prime Minister's solution to the social media landscape is to declare it all as a licensed premises, with him as a license holder. That's insane. Because he hasn't even addressed the original issue. It's just like, in my determination, social media is a public place. And if you are drunk and disorderly in a public place, it's pretty simple. If there is a fucking direct and, amplified accusation of individuals towards their whatever, and they're interacting in a public place, like, say, reporting someone on social media and making up lies about them, and they're drunk, that's a pretty fucking serious crime. It's fraud, but it's like drunken fraud. So it all falls back to just drunk and disorderly. How many people really and this is something I'll delve into my own demons, my own shadow self or whatever. It's like when I've been drinking, I'm kind of hypersexual. I like women, not in a predatory way, but in like a kind of persistent way. And so this is the old don't drink and dial or drink and text. It's like that's a huge reason why I don't drink anymore, is because of that. It opens up that line for me personally. It usually ends up to pursuing women, and in a lot of cases that ends up with a positive thing. So that's an exposure of what this is, but not once have I ever heard that brought into the argument about social media. And it really is. It's like there's a town fucking meeting trying to discuss really important issues about the town in a unique and diverse different amounts of ways. There might be a folk singer there, or there might be a drag queen, or there might be a comedian. There might be lots of different things in the town centre. But why isn't the focus towards this is a communal public space where people are doing all types of things, but this is what I would do. It's like we're trying to establish a common goal in order to weed out a lot of the antisocial behavior in our thing. And then there's someone drunk just ranting and going off in the corner. That person's being escorted away. And they're not being, it's not like we're not taking their, unless they're extremely passionate and dedicated. If they're just causing trouble and they're breathalyzed and seen to be under the influence of alcohol, then how would that be dealt with in that very, accessible comparative example? I know how it would be dealt with. So why is social media being treated differently? What are the incentives for the Australian government to keep it going the way it's going? And what are their figures? Have they actually done analysis of how this affects, say, the hospitality section or the entertainment section or something like this? If people are drinking at home and, addicted to dopamine-inducing voyeuristic behavior, what do you think going to a gig is, or a show or a comedian show or anything? That's voyeurism, but at least you're in a social environment. At least your drinking is being regulated by licensed professionals, professionals very lightly, but at least people that have been trained to identify, worrying displays of intoxication and antisocial trigger points and things like that. So this is the take home, bottle-o fucking town square, and they're pandering towards the booze hounds. How much of the antisocial, the predatory children pedophilia, fucking pornography, OnlyFans, sex work, black market, drug, everything. How much of that is taking place in the dark alleys and dark, shadowy corners of our social media? And the Prime Minister's answer is like, wow, we're going to tell the social media companies. My child that I saw the other day, my 13-year-old, nothing. He's not blocked on anything. This hasn't worked at all. And I mean, to stand in front of people, I'm going to fix social media by making it this and ban all the children. Right? They didn't ban it. So you've got egg on your face there. And then I'm not an anti-Semite, despite the fact that basically I've triggered a war and I have daily a person, or multiple people probably, but a very persistent person declaring and giving public testimony as to exactly how horrific the levels of anti-Semitism that you've provoked are. And not just anti-Semitism. The levels of anti-Semitism, alcoholism, fucking drunken disorderly, the destruction of our social cohesion, like all of these things. You're a terrorist. You're a saboteur. And you're being paid by our country. But where's the finances? Where's the paperwork? Who are you being paid by? Take-home bottle shops, online gambling, online pornography, online fucking like prostitution, which is what OnlyFans is. That's direct online prostitution. Black market fucking tobacco, black market drug trade. The black market tobacco is awesome if you get backhanders because it's undeclared, money, black market cash money. And then you're also benefiting from the cranked up fucking tax rate. It's like Kmart and Target being owned by the same company. How many other places this is applied to? It's like, do you think our government right now is profiting from online pornography and online prostitution, and then also profiting from a socialized increase in, constituency because they're able to provide more jobs for therapists and pharmaceutical and doctors and nurses for the people that are displaying the horrific effects of being mistreated by these industries that don't care about them. And this applies all the way down. So if you're an Uber driver that's suicidal because you don't get paid enough, you know what I mean? You go and get a script for some fucking antidepressants. Everybody's sorted in that. But nobody's sorted. You're just covering all ends. And it's like just to build a standing army. But my claim is that standing army is completely incompetent when compared to like already licensed examples of licensed premises and things like this, and liquor laws and distribution of whatever, and policing of drunken disorderly antisocial behavior, all these things. You're having to stand on your head and do cartwheels in order to pretend that this environment isn't the same. But it is the same. And the examples already are fucking terrifying. And the examples are already being seen to bleed out into our already existing culture. But you're cherry picking how you frame that discussion at every single point. As again, I've said this before, but I'll end this way because I think it's a great way to end today's presentation. It's like the only reason I use social media now and really can ever really project for you, I use it for porn. Okay, I'm just only human, but is to defend myself against the intrusion of this system. This is my public court. This is my settlement arrangements, and I'm attempting to reach a settlement with the Australian government, the West Australian government, and the Gingin local shire in order to, continue my life in this region. I can't make a decision about the Gingin Shire property estate, my father's estate, that is being held there under duress, until I hear from the Gingin government about what exactly they were doing on the issues I've brought up. The West Australian state, I can't make any decisions here on anything until the West Australian government addresses its massive incompetence that I've proven with this example here, and shows me that it's actually going to commit itself to creating a solution that's more aligned with its already established protocol for drunken, disorderly, and liquor licensing and things like that. People under the influence causing disruption in our society. Because it's really important. But why am I volunteering to do this? Why am I having to basically fucking legally fight every single level of government to do this? And is this the society? It's like, oh yeah, we fuck the society up. The people that we're fucking it up for that are clever have to legally defend themselves, which helps the whole country. That is fucking crazy. That is fucking crazy. Surely there is a fucking better way to organize a fucking country than this, because it's like I'm constantly in a war. And it's like, yeah, maybe if this stuff works out, if all of this comes through and you know, I'm successfully argued this point and whatever, and I'm out of the fucking thing and I can live and breathe again, move and be fucking, you know, de-stress, all this stuff. I'm not going to sit there and go, no, it wasn't worth it. I wouldn't do it. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm happy to have served my country in this way. But this country has a fucking decision to make right now on how it settles this legal arrangement. It's like you either off the table, fucking behind the fucking curtain, like remunerate me sufficiently for the fucking distress and the absolute ridiculous fucking thing for me to have to do all this, which will be an astronomical figure. You know what I mean? And it's like, now's the time to put that figure together. Each one. I want to hear from the Gingin Shire. I want to hear from the West Australian government. I want to hear from the federal government exactly what it is that you're going to put in front of me to make me fucking turn all of this off. There's that. Or you sufficiently remunerate me at you know, the satisfactory nature of my opposition status, my opposition leader status of each of these things. And you remunerate me at a per post basis for every piece of content that I've done contributing towards this, you know, the same way that you've outsourced remuneration towards, you know, media companies and marketing companies. And then you appropriately inform the Australian people that this is business as usual. This is the way we're going to do this. And that's what I'd rather. Even if it was far less. I don't want to take a fucking secret little fucking payout to keep this off the record, to keep the bullshit going. This needs to be the fucking way that it works. Public conversation is what our government is built on. And the thousands of experiments that we've been exposed to as Australian citizens against our will, you know, these basically dart throws. People have been throwing darts at a board to do with like really intense societal arrangements, family situations, health situations, financial situation, all these things. So inevitably, the conversations we're going to be forced to have are going to be very uncomfortable and very intense. We cannot paint everything or wallpaper everything over with this veneer of fucking everything's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay, and it's not ever going to be okay, and it's especially not ever going to be okay anytime soon. So everybody needs to get a lot more used to like intense structural conversations about the way that our country is designed and the way that our country is operating right now, because all of it is an experiment. You know, if you've just bought a house because you and your partner, you're you're a fucking, I don't know, you're a nurse that works in the fucking mental health ward or something like that, and your partner's just got a contract to build some type of fucking electrical infrastructure to do. It's like, who the fuck do you people think you are? You know, putting the next 30 years of your lives, that's committing. You're not just signing a contract towards your ability to pay it back. It's like you're confirming that Australia as a country, West Australia as a country, is going to finance your fucking recently created profession for that amount of time. And I'm sitting here saying, you'd all better fucking start, rebalancing your books. Because my single purpose is to make those fucking professions obsolete and make them disappear as quickly as possible, like I'm shooting cans at the Royal Show. So the banks better start fucking, stop doing it. If you're not seen to be fucking appropriately taking into account all the current things, like the fact that there's going to be a legal war trying to discredit and remove these professions from our subsidized government system, that's a pretty big fucking negative on your fucking information spreadsheet you've told the bank. Is there anything we should know about any of your employment? Well, there is a very, very ambitious and dedicated legal professional that is trying to actively expose government corruption and structural corruption to make our entire industry that I work for illegal and no longer subsidised by the government. So that might affect my ability to repay my loans. You know what I mean? Why isn't that what's happening? Because you're all just on a cruise ship. So it's like, think about how it works. It's like, how is this inevitably going to work? It's like, do I have to bring in, 70,000 fucking South Africans and fucking walk a line to establish a fucking hard and fast urban centre? And if you cross that line, you're going to get shot. And you're on a cruise ship. A cruise ship's on the ocean. If you jump off the cruise ship, you're in the fucking ocean. That's how it's got to work. That's why London worked. Think about it. London, tiny little fucking island. Really, England's like a tiny little fucking island, right? The whole thing. And New York City, tiny little island. Why do they put all the fucking concentrated things on an island? Because it works like that. If the central financial districts and the urban metropolitan fucking development is set on an island, it's kind of works. That's why I fucking claim Tasmania. It's an island. Tasmania is the London or New York of Australia now, because I fucking said it is. You try and kill someone for 4 years and steal their children, destroy their business, destroy their reputation, all these fucking things, and they win. Don't be surprised if they take the fucking, the most beautiful fucking island in the world in exchange. So that's already an arrangement. That's between me and the royal family. That's not between me and you. That's Tasmania. I had rightful claim to that fucking island, so I claimed it and I've got it. I wouldn't dare do that to the rest of the country, but it's like you just need to start now. You've kind of got two kings. You've got a Tasmanian king and you've got a king of England. And you've got a government that's fucking out of control trying to fucking set up a fucking cruise ship. At every point, using our already existing laws, we're going to expose this entire political class. And at the same time, we're going to give them a kind of pardon certain individuals to a certain point. Let's say the fucking New Year, right? A lot of people have tried things. There's been a mass, attempt to colonize and understand this environment. We've had this period of COVID, which everybody sees, which is what it's called. And as soon as this fucking year ticks over from 25 to 26, right, all bets are off. You are now liable for the false fucking projections you have put out into that environment. Every single piece of it from now on. So you've got to begin making amends. It means you can't. It's basically like we're going to do a survey, Albo, of Australian citizens, and we're going to say, do you think Albo's a Nazi, or do you think Albo's an anti-Semite? That's a jury of your peers. That's a decision, right? We can't live in a world where we have a prime minister that's a fucking anti-Semite pretending to not be, right? If you're an anti-Semite, you've got to fucking say it, and you've got to play your chips as they fucking lay. That's it. That's what I want. That's supposed to take place, way back. Like, and this is what's actually going to happen. It's like, if you go for local government now, like this bloke that just got arrested, say he lived in the same suburb as me, and we've got to duke it out to get to our local representative, like whatever her name is in Kingsley, right? Yeah, we're going to know whether you're a Nazi when you get there, because I'm going to fucking say that you're a Nazi, and everyone's going to fucking know that you're a Nazi, right? Well, if people have been calling Albo a Nazi or an anti-Semite or a communist, this whole thing, that's what he is. Because that's the definition of our fucking law. If a police officer can say you did a burnout or you jaywalked, these are arbitrary things. It's like, you have done this, which is a consistent pattern of someone who is jaywalking. That's really how our law works. So if I'm sitting and going, Albo, you're an anti-Semite because of your behavior, not because of what you declare. All that happens is, if you say that you're not, is that you're a lying anti-Semite, which is even worse. And we have absolute license here. This isn't a country with a history of white people. It's a history of Aboriginal people, right? And they participated in infanticide, and they would have been massively fucking anti-Semitic. They're anti-everyone that isn't Aboriginal. And they're not shy about it. That's the thing. It's like, this is the greatest thing. If there was an Aboriginal voice, not to Parliament, fuck that. An Aboriginal voice to the entire population of Australia, disconnected from government, it's fuck off. That's what it is. At every time. Right, we want an Aboriginal voice to the Australian people. It just says fuck off. It doesn't even say please. It just says fuck off, you white cunts. That's what it says. I'm sure everyone, has experienced that at every train station, bus stop, wherever, or if you wander into the wrong part of the country, it's like, fuck off, you white cunts or white dogs. That's the Aboriginal voice. There we go. Wow. Okay. Now that we've got that out of the book, we can project and supersede and fucking create an artificial interpretation of Albanese's voice. And it's like, Heil Hitler, kill all the Jews. Alrighty, there we go. He's an anti-Semite. There we go. You don't get to argue whether the Aboriginals have a voice to Parliament if you use your voice to spurt out fucking lies about what every single Australian can declare that you 100% are. You're an anti-Semite. That's it. Because we fucking said so. The same as we said that you're an Aboriginal and you're not. So it's just like, how far do you want to dig down this fucking hole? You're constantly going over the same ground and trying to find gold. It doesn't work. You've got to find new ground. Right? The new ground is making people accountable for what they are, not for what they say they are. If our law worked in the way that Anthony Albanese is trying to project his prime ministership to the country right now, there'd be a whole lot of fucking, you know what I mean? A whole lot of people out of jail tomorrow. Everyone in jail is innocent. Haven't you seen Shawshank Redemption? That's what they say. I'm innocent. No. The lawyer screwed me. I'm not an anti-Semite. It's like, even you've got to find the tippity top of anti-Semites to get booed at a fucking Jewish fucking thing. So not only are you an anti-Semite, Anthony Albanese, but everyone knows you are enough to boo you at basically a public funeral. And you still went. That's some deep fucking anti-Semite shit there. Most anti-Semites go, I'm not going to that. It's full of Jews. It takes a super fucking top 1 percentile of anti-Semites to go to a fucking place knowing that you're going to be booed and still walk in like you fucking own the place. So you've just got to say it. You've got to say it. and say it in the way you're going to say it's a political say. My pre-conditional socially conceived perceptions of the Jewish people as a whole may have potentially led me down a dangerously bigoted viewpoint, and it has adversely, in combination with a particularly loud constituency of my local constituency, whatever, has elevated this level beyond the realms of anything acceptable from a prime minister, and I wholeheartedly resign from this position, disgraced and with a hope to adequately educate people to the dangers of these subconscious forms of organised racism. Doesn't that sound good? Because it's like everyone knows you're a Nazi, everyone knows you're an anti-Semite, everyone knows you're shit, everyone knows that you shouldn't be there, right? The quicker you get this done, that's it. So it's like, if there is an anti-Semite problem, it's like, alrighty, there's no level of that's acceptable. It's like you've just arrested a person with guns, right? Guns and flags, Palestinian flags, and a recipe for bombs that said something about Hitler. It's like, yeah, you're the prime minister. You've got control of all the guns, all the fucking police, all the fucking everything. And you've been waving Palestinian flags. You are that person. You should be sitting in the cell next to him. Like, that's the fucking thing. It's that simple. The world changed. It's exposed a lot of things. We've gone through a period of adaptation where everyone's had a different thing about it, and then people have kind of coerced everyone to do certain things. They're like, no, this is what we're doing. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. Now, there's a cohort of people who have never made one piece of content in their fucking lives on the internet, who all get together and they basically do the most understandable human nature thing that you do. Oh, they're all weird, aren't they? All the people that do things on the internet, they're super weird and we're not. Is that right? Yeah. I've heard that. I've heard that too. Yeah, I've heard that they're all just fucking drug addicts and weirdos and they're just mentally ill narcissistics. They're narcissistic people. That's why they're on the internet all the time. Have you seen what they did the other week? They had a dress on. Oh my God. It's so sad to watch this negative fucking spiral of these people. I can't believe it. Yeah, it makes you feel really confident about being a normal person like you and me. We're all normal, aren't we? We're just all normal. Yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, you totally should be able to report someone for the fucking things they do on the internet when you've never contributed anything or have no idea about the environment. You know what I mean? That's basically our right. We should always be able to do that. Because we're the normal ones, and I just feel sorry for them. And if they don't get help, if Albo doesn't help them all, they're all going to be stuck in there forever, just rambling to themselves on the internet like crazy people. I think there should be a new diagnosis for just anyone that does anything on the internet, except for watch other people, which is clearly we're concerned. We're concerned observers. That's what we are. We're concerned observers, and we're very concerned with all the observing that we're doing. We're 100% confident that all our observations are real, and all the things that all the conclusions that we've come to based on our illegal observations of these people and persistent observations of these people without their knowledge. We're very confident in those conclusions. And so as the community of voyeuristic, disruptive onlookers that are non-participating in the internet, we would basically like to imprison every single person that's ever done anything on the internet. Can we get a show of hands? Does everyone want to vote for this? Does everyone want to vote for that? That everyone who's ever done anything on the internet is as othered. They're to be othered. They're not even real people. They look like rats. They look like rats. Can we get a fucking yeehaw? Can we get a Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi? We're all in this together. Why are you all looking at me like that? Why are you all looking at me like that? Have you tried a diet? Have you tried a fucking shotgun like that in your mouth and just like that, Stephen Wells? Just a suggestion. You know what I mean? Maybe you could tap on the little fucking neo-Nazi next door and go, hey, mate, they're coming for your guns and for your Palestinian flag. Can I borrow your shotgun for 2 minutes? You'd be in that group, wouldn't you? You'd be in the group of, can I get a... I just watch other people and comment on all this shit and I support Anthony Albanese. I'd love if that's your actual fucking name. Stephen Wells. Because the problem with the last time all the Nazis rocked up is we didn't know all their names and tons of them pretended not to be Nazis. But I can assure you in all the metadata of all this, there's a little fucking thing that says that's where you are. And you're probably using one of those fucking things which tells you to go somewhere else. There's all this fucking shit. But at the slim chance that it's not, you're basically you're goose stepping across the fucking Langley Park right now. Just letting you know. I'm pretty confident in this whole thing. Fairly confident. So, yeah. It's kind of like the argument of like, this is how I compare people like Stephen Wells, the voyeuristic fucking weird, creepy fucking people on the internet that never do anything and never have any fucking whatever. They're like that. Their opinion is like the opinion of when people say that they hate cyclists. It's like something funny. It's like, I hate cyclists. Yeah, fucking cunts. They should pay rego. Fucking da, 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 da. But if you kill a cyclist on the fucking road, you're going to jail. And everyone also agrees with that. It's this cognitive dissonance that happens. It's like when everyone's in a group together and they're like, yeah, I hate cyclists. Because the reason for that is because it's the best analogy I could possibly make. And I'm making it to now someone who says that they're famous. Apparently Stephen Wells is famous. So the reason this is the perfect analogy to send to the federal government right now is because people generally, the reason this cyclist thing occurs is because they're in a car a lot of times by themselves, in control of a deadly weapon that makes them feel really confident, makes them feel really like privacy, their privacy is whatever, because they're in this car by themselves. And this is what has perpetuated this dehumanization of cyclists, despite the fact that people have been cycling for far longer than they've been automobiling. You know what I mean? Every single person starts cycling. It's like, hey, where do most people start cycling? They don't go and buy the fucking race bike with the Lycra and the fucking helmets and the whatever. They start as little kids in their driveway. So no one associates this anti-cyclist thing with like a genocidal hatred towards children, because that would be fucking insane. But it's the same thing. Your cyclists were the cyclists that everybody collectively hates on the roads. They were children learning how to ride on their driveways. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, what's the difference between declaring that, you know, these things against cyclists and then saying you're going to go to a school and shoot it? It's the same thing. But it all breaks as soon as anyone does it. It's almost like a collective delusion where you're like, we all hate cyclists. Oh my God, you should ram them off the road. Oh my God. Then someone does it, like Stephen Wells here or John Wright. And it's all over. But the problem is that when it's happening in the comment section, It's not real. They're still just at the pub saying, I hate cyclists. Yeah, we should run them all off the road. So this is live right now. And the only way that these cunts are ever going to get the message is just like me, if police bust down their fucking door and shove their face in the fucking ground and say you're under arrest. It's the only way to fix it. See, how is this any different to road rage? I'm navigating my conversation very selectively, very appropriately to somewhere, and that will end up going from here to YouTube, which they're watching it on. It gets taken. I get the link. It goes over to Facebook. It's very important to address the exact logistics of all of this. The link goes on to Facebook on record, and I project it to the appropriate person. So today, this will probably be, again, it'll be the Prime Minister and the Governor-General, so that the Governor-General can oversee this diplomatic, democratic political discussion that should be taking place out in the open, that is taking place in this weird, secretive fucking whatever section of our fucking democracy. But all of this is there. Now, these people, what are they here for? What are they here for? They're very much like the people on scooters that have been caught going along a cycling track and kicking the cyclists off the fucking road. Except we've caught them, haven't we? But have we caught them? Because is this their thing? Are they contributing to the conversation? Or are they restricting the conversation? Are they in the pub, balking and yelling on about how all cyclists should be fucking killed? They're not listening to a crazy lady, though. Shaz is on the naughty list. See, who are these people? And the worst thing is, the reason why this is one of the only times I would actually diagnose a fucking mental illness, if these people aren't a certain section of people, right? If these people are just sad, weird people at home doing this, right? This is the strangest thing ever, because it's like, where else in society has this ever been an option to do? It's kind of like they're living in a world where they're writing "you're a poofter" or something in a note and sticking it in a glass bottle, and then someone finds it and they're like, but they're continuously showing up in my environment. Now, the problem is, it's like, if this happened in my front yard, these people are getting killed, or they're getting their necks broken, or they're getting their fucking noses broken, or their fucking teeth knocked out. You know what I mean? They're getting fucking their legs tied to the back of my car and driven around the fucking suburbs repeatedly. Because it's a repeated thing. See, but one of the things about Australian culture that maybe hasn't been explained to these people, this type of it's always existed, this banter type of shit. The minute you're an anonymous fucking person, it doesn't do anything. Angry lady makes empty threats. Mate, where are you, Jero? Damo from Jero. They're not empty threats, cunt. They're not. And what it is, it's like, it doesn't matter whether each one of you is an individual fucking, it could be anything. Like, that's where it gets a little bit annoying to fucking, from my perspective, which you would listen to, gets really annoying. I'm in Jero. All right. Where in Jero? Where's your address? And I'll come there and fucking knock your fucking head off, you stupid cunt. Or even better, just to keep it in your world. So where is somewhere on the internet that you are, you fucking faggot? This is the craziest thing. All of this isn't Australian culture here. Australian culture is like, yeah, you fucking go up to someone and say something, but not as a fucking anonymous fucking nameless person. There is a fucking breadcrumb trail from every single point of everything I do, so you can find out who I am, where I am at any fucking point, you absolute fucking maggots, right? This is the difference between who you are and who I am. Great. Why do you continuously get here if you're going to fucking now participate in this fucking conversation? Is this have I made contact? Oh my God, has the fucking meth fucking crowd actually fucking got the balls up to fucking say something? Why are you constantly here, you cunt? What does this have to do with you, and why are you constantly here? Answer the fucking question. What is it? What is it? What obsession do you fucking have with what I'm doing for you to be here? Are you typing with fucking chopsticks or something, cunt? Hurry the fuck up. Honestly. Think about the long term, like how the fuck do we sort out this fucking problem with fucking children, right? This shit should, in the fucking playground, this gets sorted really quickly. At the fucking car park of a fucking pub, this shit gets fucking sorted really quickly. You guys are, you're fucking, like, you're getting off on it. You strange little fucking weirdos. There's some type of fucking thing there. You're not doing anything. For the lols. That's it. There we go. Thank you. I know that. I know that's what it is. Mate, I can tell you the lols run out when when your car gets repossessed, your house gets repossessed. If you got children, they get fucking taken off you. You know what I mean? For the lols, you're a fucking saboteur of my country. You know, if it was possible in this moment to find you and fucking disgrace you in front of the whole fucking thing, like this other Nazi fuckwit, that's what would happen. This is the whole conversation. It's like, what you don't get, you think shits and giggles. Yeah, I know. I know that. But do you understand that this is all going to come to an end eventually? And you got nothing. The moment that you're fucking exposed for this is the end of your life. It's like, it's the weirdest, strangest. It's like, it's a type of thing. See, what you don't understand is it's like an attempt at, like, I don't even want to call it bullying because it's weird, but it's like, I've been a bully, cunt. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I know what you're doing. I will win this. And I will embarrass the fuck out of you. It's like, I'm pre-embarrassing myself to embarrass yous on the long run. While I'm fucking distracting yous here constantly, right? This other thing is coming around you and fucking you up. Because that's my job. And it's like, this is the thing. I've been told, this is a constant thing by my children's stepfather. You're a keyboard warrior. The only thing I use my keyboard for is to put the thing in. I hate Shaz's Australia, the 1950s perfect utopia. No, it's not, mate. I don't like the 1950s. I said 80 years ago. What's this? It's like you don't know what I'm fucking talking about because you listen to one little bit and you probably, I don't know, you're probably drunk. Who the fuck knows? See, these are whatever. I'll make stereotypical things. In Jero, he's probably fucking methed off his fucking tits, which at least because I had a fucking Dexy, I'm at least like, I'm like, oh, look, I've made fucking contact with this thing. I've got to get to your speed. I've got to be running up on the fucking treadmill, get fucking down to fucking Jero fucking speed. Holy shit, mate. Why don't I just get me fucking Kraber? I'll fucking work up there. We'll all have a couple of VBs on the beach and we'll all talk about how I'm not talking about 1950s fucking perfect utopia. It's nothing like that. It's like there's no reality in Australia, in any period of Australia that I know, that a bunch of fucking knobheads can sit, you know what I mean, and basically look in someone's window and somehow fucking comment on something and not get their fucking noses broken. That's it. This isn't fucking 1950s fucking Australia logic. It's fucking, it's all the way from preschool all the way up to fucking maximum security prison. If you talk shit, you're going to get fucked up. Now, I'm not talking shit on anyone individually. I'm talking shit about how individually everyone has let the fucking country down to get to this fucking point. Because you're doing this. Why would you be doing this? At the most, what do you think I'm trying to take from you as Australian citizens? I like when they do this, when they do the sarcasm. No, oh, my fucking thing's going to run out. No, he's right. Fuck. You are a keyboard warrior. Good one. Great football coach. See, even if that's sarcasm, I don't give a shit. I'll fucking take it. It's basically what yous are doing is group dynamics. As long as you all stay together, you feel like you're like, yeah, it's right. He's the weirdo. He's the weirdo. Use. But I'm trying to figure out what the damage that this is doing to the whole fucking country. And it ends up with this like fucking this schoolyard fucking bullshit, which I don't. It's like, oh, whatever. I'll participate in it. But this is serious shit that needs to fucking be fixed. But if people don't step up, and you can take the bogan out of Gin, but you can't take the bogan out of Gin. Yeah, I didn't grow up in Gin. And thank you for referring to me as a bogan. That is a highest level compliment. I love it. Yeah, that's my aspiration, mate, is to attempt to be able to speak still as a fucking bogan, but also do some fucking thing at the other end, and I can do both. That's important. It's like this is an important fucking conversation. And then the metric of this fucking comment section in all environments, not just this weird one that I can't even understand, these need to start going somewhere. And I've done enough of it. It's like they don't. The moment you've got elected officials on Instagram not actually responding to things, that's the end of the fucking world. It's like, and then actively trying to shut it down. How do you go anywhere from there? Saying fuck as every second word is a sign of low intelligence. No, it's not. It's a sign of Australianism, mate. And it's been elevated by every immigrant class with different languages that comes to Australia, because the first word they learn is fuck. And because we're a big melting pot, multicultural nation, we say fuck and cunt a lot. And that's what's being used actively against the real people of Australia being able to defend themselves with the English language. We're not 25 years ago, watching a South Park episode where they say fuck. That's the level that your brain's operating at. And you're in a comment section. You're not saying anything. You're typing words in a comment section. At least he's got there's a picture now, John Wright. I can't look at it while I'm doing it, but I might remember and I might look it up after. Now you've gone anyway. It's fucking... So I guess this is the proof here that this whole environment is being treated as one thing by a huge glut of non-participants. And they're using their democratic power in order to silence the voices of the people that are contributing, and they're trying to lower the whole scope of the conversation down to this, pub fucking talk bullshit. But they're the ones doing it. They're participating as if they're at a pub, because that's the only place that they fucking talk to each other. And we're so selectively drip-fed actual political dialogue in this country that no one understands that there's a lot of swearing that goes on, and there's a lot of arguments, and there's a lot of disruption, there's a lot of reference, all these things. So no one knows it. This whole country is being continued on. The continuity of the entire country is being held with this basically like artificial reality TV show. Very much like what happened in Ukraine. Like the fact that the whole world isn't now getting together and going, Zelensky literally made a fucking like TV show where he was the president of Ukraine, and then unelected got elected to that at the time of a war, backed by the Democratic Party of the United States to push into NATO and do it. It's like, that's insane, but it's not insane when you understand the kind of the insulated nature of these countries. The problem is Australia is really big, and it has a history that's kind of embedded further beyond the political, and most Australians aren't political. So we didn't do it that specific way. We can obviously look at Ukraine and go, that's crazy. What, he pretended to be the prime minister, the president, and played a piano with his penis. That's super weird. But we all go there and go, Albo's the real prime minister of the country. It's like, no, he's not. He's not. All these things is usually what you say when your brain runs out of momentum. Coming from the person that is not saying any things. Brain, why is this? And the problem, like, I wouldn't see if this was just this, and I'd be like, okay, this is right. But the reason I don't decide to go for the actual relevant or the normal whatever process of doing politics, one, because I don't want to be a politician. As I said, I'm just trying to protect my private property and my children. So really, it's like, if you're here opposing me, I'm trying to protect my private property, my ownership, and my children, to the protection of my children to not be stolen from me. Are you against these things in order to fund your communist delusion? The answer has to be yes. It's like this is we say, oh, the government, death and taxes is all of this. It's like, what? Death and taxes? Yeah, death and taxes, but taxes to fund what? A digital control fucking system that steals people's children. That's not in the fine print. So it could be argued that I'm raising taxes now to fucking beat back this fucking communist fucking delusion. And we're very efficient. You know what I mean? The minute this progresses to fucking war, it's like, don't assume that your door's not getting knocked down. I kind of can't, like, there's part of me that wants this to go to fucking a hot civil war immediately, because I just can't wait to see a bunch of fucking bogans in high vis stumbling around getting shot in the suburbs. It's kind of like a little bit of a sick fucking thing that you know what I mean? They're just like that. They literally think that going to war means like, yeah, go in the bottle shop, get a carton of fucking Carlton Dry, and then go to war. It's just like a Take 5 meeting that we do in the fucking site. It's exactly the same. And even the bosses of these things, and Twiggy and all this, Gina and fucking shit, they better stop being under this delusion as well that they're going to do this. It's fucking really weird when oligarchs start fucking saying the quiet bit out loud. You don't understand how this is going to go out. You know what I mean? It's like no one in the fucking world wants Australia to be a fucking communist, Soviet, fucking socialist, Nazi fucking haven. You know, led by fucking mining companies and high-vis and this simplified fucking one newspaper town fucking nonsense. It's like, this is the fucking enemy of the entire fucking civilized world right now. Not just some fucking dude in a fucking crop top in a fucking bedroom. These comment sections, this is the fucking battleground. Because if it doesn't get fucking sorted out here, it's going to get sorted out in the fucking streets. If the government isn't seen to be, appropriately fucking putting through policy that actually, brings up relevant non-digital systems that we've already established and that we've had good results with. And it's like, just put this here. I'm having a conversation on the phone with somewhere and I'm getting harassed by 3 drunk dickheads. What does the publican do? They get kicked out. If they keep doing it, they don't come back. But the reason it's like, I could block them, but then I don't know who they are. There's already been specific, now I don't know whether these specific references to things that are going on in my life, whether they've just got a good memory and they've heard it on what I've said, which is really weird, but it's not that weird. It's sociopaths. And they're repeating it to get a dig out of me, or whether they are actively fucking, people that are combining their whatever to directly do something. This behavior here, consistent behavior like this, compared to some weirdo with a fucking Palestinian flag, way more disturbing, way more dangerous, way more harassing. So yeah, it's fucking interesting. It's like it's more interesting to keep it going on and to bring it to the forefront and show everyone. I've seen most women, they will just literally block people. And that's probably the best thing to do for women. This has blocked this type of behaviour. I'm trying to bring relevance to the fact that, well, your social media ban didn't work. Who are these people? Can the Australian government tell me who these people are that are stalking and harassing me? Like, just can you actually tell me? Could you, if you had to, tell me, could you do it? And what does that say about you if you can't? What does that say about your fucking country? So the country's being led by anonymous fucking trolls in comment sections. And this is the way that they police it. And it's just that most people don't say anything about it. They block it. And that's what gives permission for the political parties to do the same behaviour. And this is why I'm blocked by the East Safety Commissioner, the West Australian Labor Party, the Australian Labor Party, both Roger Cook, the Premier of Western Australia, and Mark McGowan, the previous Premier, the elected Premier of Western Australia, have blocked me on social media while still distributing content to do with, restrictive policies on social media, which is just a fucking complete head fuck. How can that exist? It exists because this is the way that Australia is being whatever. The problem is, I've been on building sites being harassed by fucking union representatives my whole fucking life. It doesn't fucking, it's nothing. And it's like, it's actually funny to show the fucking infrastructure. These are the consistent people. Yeah. Now, this is taking place all over the place, not just someone confident and consistent like me, but everywhere. You know what I mean? When we get these accounts of, this person had 40,000 pieces of child fucking porn and they're a fucking shire representative or a local councillor or whatever, it's like we should be exactly offended to someone who's participating in this type of behaviour because the chances are they're doing this in multiple places. They're like super trolls. Super anonymous trolls, fucking, unofficially, the unofficial regulators of Australian society in their own declaration there by saying, the criticism about 1950s Australia. Mate, I didn't want to go back to 1950s Australia where I couldn't anonymously troll people and bully them on the internet. Honestly. And it's like this, it's not, see, the complicated thing is, it's not like digital ID. I haven't gone to their method. I've made my own digital ID. You know what I mean? It's in the country pre-internet, it was called your face. It was your identity. It existed. If you lived in a place, people knew who you were. You didn't really have a lot of opportunities except for writing letters to get your message to someone who you didn't know, right? If you wrote multiple letters, which is what each one of these comments is, to someone, that's harassment and stalking and all these things. So they're consistently here. One of them's just mentioned my girlfriend's name, which, like, this is, that's a way to get yourself killed in a fucking small country town. It's why it doesn't take place. If you're in, every fucking thing I've had in a small country town, the last thing you would fucking say is mention someone's fucking girlfriend's name, because somebody will know someone with a shotgun, and that person is going to find out where you are, and they're going to blow the back of your fucking brain out while you're driving down a fucking road. So why is this taking place here? Why is the conversation being held that the government has done something about it when it hasn't? My 13-year-old still has access to these things, which means he has access to these people, or more importantly, these people have access to him. Can the Australian government tell me who these three individuals are? Damo from Gero, Stephen Wells, and John Wright. John Wright, perhaps, perhaps he's fucking whatever. And the crazy thing is, like, where are the positive contributors to my broadcast? I'm not alone. Some of my extreme things, I'll say, yeah, because I'm a bit of a fucking extreme, like, libertarian, I suppose you would call it if you're in America. But a lot of the normal day-to-day policy stuff is it's definitely not this one-sided. So the algorithm has decided that I'm what? Insane? The algorithm has decided that I'm in solitary confinement? Who the fuck is an algorithm? Who the fuck is Google to declare who's in solitary confinement or not? And who the fuck is the government to fucking ignore and outsource to a incompetent fucking system that is literally, turning human beings into items on a fucking shelf that they can do these things with? And I think it's down to like the attention thing. It's like police don't have to fucking do a fucking Australian Idol thing in order to take your license off you or to send you to jail for being drunk and disorderly. They've been given authority. They've been given, license to police our laws. Has Google been giving a license to imprison people? To subject them to selective abuse and restrict anyone positive from them? No, that's the government that's done that. And they've asked these entities to do it. They've outsourced a concentration camp style gulag. And their only argument is that it's taking place digitally, but they're not participating in the digital environment. So they're not getting clear reference. For me to continue participation in this, to expose it, I have to insulate myself from the harmful reality of being in it. Which is really weird. It's like it falls on for everyone to be saved from a digital gulag or a digital concentration camp, there has to be highly effective people that can kind of insulate themselves from the negative effects of that. That's what I'm doing. And the government is pretending that they're not. And these individuals these are literally the equivalent. See, imagine all the worst things you hear about Nazi fucking guards. The torture and all these fucking things, right? We're already there, but it's being held digitally. And these are the examples. And it's like this behavior is a preview to the behavior that you'll see as soon as our government tips over a line where it gives them guns. And then they go, oh, I wonder why Israel's protecting itself. I wonder why Israel's this thing. I wonder why that is. Because it's a proven pattern of behavior that's being completely ignored at every fucking level. Nicorette, you can beat the cigarette. Yeah, too right, mate. I reckon I've got you over on board, haven't I? He's over because he's helped me. He's helped me there because I've read that out. And now Nicorette's, if I survive this, Nicorette's going to pay me a couple of $1 million. So if you want, mate, you can keep on board and then I'll buy you a fucking 6-pack with the money that I get from Nicorette. Pretty good fucking deal. Pretty good deal. And now this is like this. Now you're in politics. Look at that. So you woke up as a fucking internet troll, and now you're on the board of directors. It was really effective, especially during the pandemic. The trolling, the comments, and you could shift, and it was shifted. They shifted entire fucking, huge groups of people. Like there was a couple on the Perth musicians pages, and you'd get one troll, and they would fucking fire them all off. It's just this pattern. It's like you declare this person as the enemy. Oh, they don't want a jab. They're the fucking enemy. Oh, fucking one troll, one fucking not even a photo hidden account. One fucking, incendiary comment in the comment section, and a whole fucking diverse range of Perth musicians who would generally put themselves forward as really, egalitarian understanding, all turn into Nazis like that. That happened. That's already happened. It's already proven. But it's like, it's never there. Now, the best reality is if we get to all of these and they're in Russia. If there's just a bunch of Russians who have kind of got good at like giving people shit in Australia and then they do this stuff, it's like, hey, we're closing in on you, right? I'm not completely anti-Russia if you are Russian. This is weird, the fucking levels of things you have to go to. But it's like, it's not going to work. We're going to win this, so stop doing it and start learning how to fucking have adequate conversations so we can fucking reinforce each other's boundaries. And prevent this fucking thing escalating to like out of control, ridiculous fucking bullshit. But if you're Australians and you're doing this, what are you doing? It's the most un-Australian thing that you could do, being disguised as the most Australian thing. If everyone thinks, giving each other shit and fucking at the pub, you're right. That is Australian. That's what mates do when they go to the pub. They give each other fucking shit. Anyone who goes out to the person planting trees in a fucking 40-degree fucking paddock being surrounded by fucking whatever that's out there fucking day in, day out fucking doing this shit, you go give that person fucking shit in this country, which is what I'm doing. You're not Australian. That's the least fucking Australian thing you could fucking possibly do. You might not agree with every single fucking thing that I've ever said. You might not like the swearing. You might not like the fact that I've got a little crop top. Any of the things, right? But you're not in my position. Judge not until you've fucking walked in a man's fucking shoes. It's like, you're not out where I am. You've rocked up in an air-conditioned fucking car. You've walked out in the fucking paddock, and you're having a fucking argument with me out in a fucking field where I'm planting trees, and I've been there for a long fucking time, and I'm sweating and I'm hot, and you're fucking taking up my fucking time. And high heels, mate, yeah. Actually, now I just got fucking cowboy boots on. All I needed was a bit of heel elevation because we're all groomed as little fucking tackers in this country to wear stupid fucking sneakers that are like this. And it's fucked up our entire biomechanics. It's a problem. But anyway, we'll get to that later. But any person that does that, you're not Australian. Not Australian. By anyone's fucking rules. In any pub across the fucking land. And by the end of this fucking project, whatever it is, every single Australian will fucking... Yeah, you're right. You are right. It's backseat driving. It's fucking absolute bullshit. And it's too easy now. You know what I mean? It was better when you had to open the car door and get out of the air conditioning and walk out. And then by the time you're there, you're like, I probably shouldn't tell that bloke out in the paddock planting trees that I don't like his hair, or that I don't like it, whatever, or that he says fuck too much. I should probably just get back in the fucking car and fucking, go to the bottle shop. In the hope to project this egalitarian fucking democratic fucking neoliberalist fucking utopia. We've just created a thing where it's like now every single person who ever wants to try and do anything and fix anything has to sit there and be fucking, abused by the peanut gallery. That's because it's all being falsely perceived as entertainment. Oh, they just want to be entertainers. It's fucking insane. It's a trick that's worked for way too fucking long. You know what I mean? Take Nirvana. Nirvana addressed it. Oh, we're now entertainers. They don't know what it means. They don't know what it means. That's some Nirvana fucking lyrics. That's what they're singing about. But what the fuck could a couple of 20-year-old heroin addicts from Seattle really have to contribute to the world? But they felt enough outrage to sing a song about it and say how they were being used as this whatever. I'm not doing that at all. All my music, every fucking other thing like that was just why I was here. Put that all aside because the whole country has gone to shit. I've got thick skin and fucking strong shoulders. I will fucking clear the landmines for the people, because the people that need to fix the problem, they're sensitive, way more sensitive than I am. They're fragile, all these things, and I don't want them to be tripped up at the first fucking stumbling post. And every single solution that we need in this country is long-term. You have to expose yourself like this. But I don't want a situation where people aren't free to have a little whatever. I don't mind it. That's why I haven't blocked them. I'm seeing a conclusion through. I'm not using a temporary fucking thing of blocking. Blocking doesn't exist in the world. It doesn't exist in the small towns, so it doesn't exist in the world. Yet the whole country has gone to shit. Australia is Shannon's and owes him a living. How am I saying it owes me a living? At all. I've never said that once. You're literally standing up for the people that are being remunerated. I'm doing this voluntarily to protect my fucking rights and in turn your rights. Union Jack. It's so fucking complicated. But yeah, this is going to run out. Fuck, amazing the fucking, the miles you can get out of one little fucking Dexy tablet. No wonder this whole country is off its fucking tits. Jesus fucking Christ. Godspeed. Yeah. It's going to be funny if I find out these people are just provocateurs that are there purposely to drive me and fucking drive the argument, and they're going to end up in a pub one day and they're going to be like, remember when I said that? And I'm like, you dickheads. And they're in uniform. That's what I imagine. But I also imagine that they're, kind of degenerate fucking meth addicts living in fucking Geraldton. Because then it covers the whole thing. Covers the whole whatever. That they're a selective group of my children's stepfather's mates that have fucking, I don't know, come up with some fucking weird plan. Who knows? Who knows what it is? I look forward to the day of revelation. And yeah, cheers. Merry Christmas, Stephen. Happy New Year as well. I hope you're all going well. I would say it'd be boring without you guys here, but it wouldn't. Because I just try and get it done, and then you actually end up whatever. But if it helps, it helps. I'm going to go drink a nice Coke Zero and put some Dua Lipa on and dance around. That's what every real Australian bloke's doing. That's what I want to see the fucking Prime Minister doing as well, like on Love Actually, which we watched last night. Prime Minister needs to put Dua Lipa on and dance around, otherwise we're all going to be fucking going to go to hell. But yeah, let's up the ante on the actual conversation level of this country before it's, let's lead the way with that. Rather than this pretending, you know what I mean? It's like at the same time that Anthony Albanese admits he's anti-Semitic, I'll condemn him for that and, for the level he did it. And then I'll commend him for being honest, and I will defend his right to be anti-Semitic in this country responsibly. See, if anti-Semitism ends in an argument here, and we set the scene and we set the tone acceptable level, okay, wonderful. I'm not particularly afraid of this skinhead neo-Nazi whatever in Australia if this gets through to Hakea, wherever the fuck he is. It's like, mate, I'm not particularly afraid of you because I understand that you're confused and whatever, and I'm happy to have a conversation with you. I am concerned a little bit the way that you've fucking elevated this whatever, but I'm hoping to set a thing. If you're not willing to have a conversation here, then you're more than likely not willing to fucking commit mass murder. I think this is like, you shouldn't be on here because it's easier or less violent, or it's like you should be on here talking openly because it's effective. It's way more effective than mass fucking violence. Once you get over the weird pseudo-masochistic fucking bloodlust, it's like if you want to kill people, be a Nazi, be a terrorist, right? Yep. If you want to fucking watch people blow up, you pretend you're on fucking Call of Duty, go and do that. I commend you, right? Go and plan your fucking bullshit, arm yourselves, get your flags, get your fucking swastika tattoos, do all that fucking shit and fucking do it all. We'll find out who you are and we'll have permission to fucking Waco your ass and run a tank through your front door. But you want to be effective, you learn how to fucking talk, and you learn how to talk English, you learn how to get references, you learn where to talk to, you learn how to do all of this out in the fucking open and publicly. Like Hitler did. Hey, like Hitler did. Hitler didn't fucking scheme and plot in the fucking thing. He took over the entire country by talking. So if you are fucking, neo-Nazis, stop fucking rubbing shoulders with fucking dirty little fucking sand niggers, you cunts. You should be fucking ashamed of yourselves, and I hope you choke on that big fucking black dick while you're getting fucking arse raped in the pen, you absolute maggot cunts, and grow some fucking hair. You know what I mean? Fucking skinheads.